You know the vibes. This is Marcus Flowers at One Marcus Flowers on all social media platforms, aka Flo, and I'm here with
Metro Meta. Y'all know who it is, the one who stands above everybody else, he who shall not be named.
Okay, and before we really get it started, we're doing something new. We are fresh. We are, how would you say, Morgan, in the field?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so we are just now leaving the, what would you call it, remastered? Or this is the first live action Pokemon movie called Detective Pikachu. And before I give my thoughts, I want Morgan, tell them how you feel.
It's the greatest video game movie ever made.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
I would just say it's a very good story for what it is. It tells the story from every perspective. You can follow it, and I liked it.
So what specifically did you like about it?
I liked its reference to Pokemon canon. I know laymen like Marcus won't get the references, but I like them. And I like the structure overall, just easy to follow, easy kid story. And of course, shout outs to the animations and the graphics. It made Sonic look like trash, which it already was.
Okay, very cool. So if you are, I don't want to say not hip, but Detective Pikachu was, correct me if I'm wrong, Morgan, but this is Detective Pikachu was based on a 3DS game.
It's based on a Pokemon spin-off series. There are multiple games in the series, I believe.
Okay, so before we really dive into it, how did you feel about the main character, Tim?
I honestly liked him. He was pretty good. I can't remember I remember what he was from. He was in Jurassic World.
He also was the main character in the Get Down on Netflix. So how did you feel about his potential love interest?
I liked him more than other people did. I thought she was a very interesting, like, funny, quirky type of character.
So as for the antagonist, were you, they said it was going to be a shock. Were you surprised with the sudden twist?
No.
And why is that?
I mean, it was a very cut and dry setup from who they were to who the villains were. Like, from the moment you see it, wait, is this a spoiler cast?
Yeah, go for it. Just
all
go
right,
for it.
All right. So from the moment you see, like, the head of the city, you get his background, you're like, oh yeah, there's the villain right there, that guy. Like, it's not a setup that we haven't seen a million times. Marvel does it every single 5 minutes, so it's not very hard to see.
Okay, so if you haven't seen Detective Pikachu yet, I would pause this podcast and go see it.
I mean,
but
we
if
just
you
ruined it, so.
But if you are not hip, the antagonist Harry, no, that was the father's name. What was the evil father's name?
I don't remember.
Well, anyway, the evil father. We're outside, so if you hear sirens, that we are literally in the field. But so the evil father, we can't remember his name right now. Morgan, could you look it up on your phone? But anyway, the evil father was the true villain throughout the whole thing. But they tried to set it up as the son who was the evil one. And so I wasn't too surprised with the twist. I thought it was warranted. I also felt like it was cheap, and there were parts of the movie that I felt were cut out, such as when Pikachu ran away from Tim after they infiltrated the facility. Morgan, did you feel that way? Or did you feel like this was the original version that they wanted the public to see?
What do you mean by it was cut out?
Like, I feel like there were parts that were cut out, that were left out, that it was edited so that we only saw certain parts. And so there was times when I felt that it didn't mesh well, and I felt like there was a piece missing. How did you feel?
From the moment you saw, I don't see where you thought the missing piece was.
Well, the missing piece was when when Tim was crying with Pikachu, I feel like that chemistry wasn't quite there yet. I feel like there still needed to be a building. Like, am I wrong for that assumption, or should I just assume that they would be naturally? Well, at the very end, it turns out that Pikachu was Tim's father in his body, in Pikachu's body. That sounds nuts. I know. If you are not familiar with Pokemon, I know.
Well,
that sounds nuts. Okay.
Let me give you some context for this. So the movie in reference does inherently believe that you were supposed to believe that they had some sort of connection. As far as humans being in Pokemon's body, that's honestly not that hard of a concept as a Pokemon fan to grasp, just because... Now, Marcus, I know you didn't play them, but the entire Mystery Dungeon series was based on that concept.
Okay.
It's based on the concept of people turning into Pokemon.
Okay, quick pivot right here. So, if there's any Pokemon that you feel would be your spirit animal, which one would it be?
Vaporeon.
Why Vaporeon?
That's just always been my favorite Pokemon.
So, just because it is your favorite Pokemon doesn't mean that it would be your spirit animal. Explain to our audience why it would be your spirit animal.
Vaporeon is a water-type Pokemon, and I am also a Pisces. And it's very stealthy, and it is a Pokemon that goes in many directions.
Oh, okay. So you feel like you are slithery like a snake and people can't trust you.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, very cool. If I had to think of a Pokemon that would be my spirit animal, I would probably say somebody like Gengar, just because they are very chaotic, but when it comes time to step up, they handle their business.
In reference to Gengar, did you like how they portrayed it? Because honestly, that's a very interesting portrayal of how Gengar would move in the world.
So if you don't know what they're talking, if you don't know what Morgan's talking about, he's talking about the part in Detective Pikachu when Gengar was facing the Blastoise.
Yes.
In the illegal battlegrounds.
Yes.
Okay. And so I would say I feel like that I would think that Gengar, that specific Gengar, is appropriate, especially if he was off of that the powder R. The R powder. And so real quick, if you don't know what powder R is,
Rhyme powder.
Well,
they didn't call it that, but I just think R rhymes.
Yeah, it makes sense. And so R powder is basically a substance that it is a aerosol that when Pokemon inhale it, they become crazed and deranged.
Crazy and deranged.
I feel like if Gengar inhaled that R, it makes sense.
Yeah, I definitely liked it because they made it more like Ghost-like. As the directors were talking, they talked about different references they used for the Pokemon, and I definitely think, whether you like the movie or not, they nailed every Pokemon they put on screen.
So when you say nail every Pokemon they put on screen, I do feel like they did a great fan service. I feel like that was a high point of it, but I just feel like we didn't get the battles that, well, just from my opinion,
we didn't get the problem, Marcus, is you're looking for battles and it's not a battle series.
And see, that's just like, if we're talking about nostalgia and just traditional Pokemon fans who came on in the late 90s with that Pokemon series, they would be expecting battles. They would be expecting gym battles. They would be expecting training. They would be expecting that type of emotion. I feel like even with the type of emotion, it wasn't earned.
But the problem you're looking at is that that's not the series. I don't even think the Detective Pokemon series has a battle system.
And see, that's not like, I completely
Marcus,
get.
The problem you're looking at is you're saying, okay, let's decide, let's put a Pokemon series together where we say, hey, we're going to start with gym battles. There's a reason why there's never been a Pokemon movie based around gym battles. That's because the gym battle system leads itself to a TV series, not to a movie.
And see, that's not my problem. I feel like Pokemon would be best suited as a Netflix series, as a Hulu series.
But they already have that.
But as is live action?
You're not going to get that level of funding for a TV series.
Well, there are TV series that do put that budget out. But I'm just saying,
You're talking about Netflix putting down the money for a massive budget for a massive TV show.
Have you seen Bright? All right there.
I saw Bright, but Bright was one movie.
Okay,
if you want to tell a Pokemon
okay.
story, you're talking at least minimum 8 movies, not counting
not 8 movies, 8 episodes, but that is past the point. So back to Detective Pikachu. So so I want to get your thoughts on this. How did you feel about the Mr. Mime scene?
I thought it was okay. I didn't mind it. It's pretty funny.
Okay, do you think that was proper fan service, or did because I feel like Mr. Mime, who I know that Pokemon to be, although he is a mime, he still is powerful, and I felt like that scene didn't give him the type of service that was warranted. I feel like
Marcus, you're overselling Mr. Mime as a Pokemon.
No, you act like he's not strong. He is a definitely strong Pokemon.
Mr. Mime is a defensive base barrier Pokemon.
And who is really powerful.
He's not powerful. He doesn't even evolve.
Since we're talking about powerful, I thought there would be way more fan service to legendary Pokemon. Like, we didn't see Zapdos. Who do we see?
We saw Dialga, we saw Arceus, and we saw Palkia.
Those are the newer those are not newer, but like
they're not newer.
They're
Sinnoh Pokemon, and Arceus is the creator of all Pokemon.
And so that's cool, but we didn't see, like, just taking it from the Kanto region, we saw none of those Pokemon.
But it's not about the Kanto region. It wasn't in the Kanto region.
Okay, but this is okay. So
you're talking from a purely Gen 1 perspective.
Okay, but let's take it. So last November they released. Well, let's even go back 2 years ago. Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go has a lot of Generation 1 Pokemon.
And it burned out past 3 months later.
Past November, what was the Nintendo Switch release?
You mean how they've been remaking every Pokemon game? No, Marcus, no. That was That was not a special event.
You're not answering the question. What was the latest Pokemon release game?
Marcus.
No.
Marcus,
answer my question.
No, Marcus.
Answer my question
first. You're not thinking
first.
of this on hold. They've been remaking all of their games for the past few years.
Let's go with that. Okay, let's go with that. They've been remaking the Pokemon game for the last few years. What was the latest release?
It was just Let's Go. That's it.
Let's Go what?
Let's Go that sold less than the rest of the Pokemon games.
No. See, you're adding. You're not answering the question.
You gotta think about it on a whole. Marcus.
No, you don't. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. That was Generation 1 Pokemon. So the next Pokemon big release was Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
And so let's say you're a person like me who got back into don't interrupt.
You're just one person.
No, okay, let's say, but I'm not the only person like this.
You're asking to beg for you when there's been a community around this game without you for the past 20 years.
Okay, but let's say you are a person like me who got the nostalgia, who saw Pokemon Let's Go Eevee,
want them
Pokemon
to beg
Let's Go.
To you now?
No, Morgan, but you're not listening. So this is what you're not listening. So Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Generation 1. So the next big Pokemon release was Detective Pikachu. And you go to the theater, you're expecting a whole lot of Generation 1 Pokemon, and they are not there.
There was a bunch of Generation Pokemon in the movie.
Okay, where was Wartortle?
They had Blastoise.
No, but there wasn't the in-between. Where was who's Charmander's middle?
You don't even remember what it was.
I can't remember
you
his
don't
name.
Give a damn.
But he wasn't there. I'm saying
they didn't have any of the middle generations.
The only Eevee they showed was Flareon. Where was Electron?
They had them in the backgrounds.
No, that doesn't count.
Marcus, you're asking them to beg to you as a fan when
Where
there's
was
been
Ghastly?
people there. They
Where
had
was
Gengar.
Ghastly? Where was Miss Jinx?
Marcus, you're asking.
Where was Magmar? Where was Electrobuzz? This is what I'm saying. Like,
Marcus, they had a bunch of Pokemon in that movie. You can't expect them to cater to every single generation.
Okay, but this is what I'm saying.
There's a bunch of Pokemon I want in there. Where's my Mimikyu, huh? He's not in there.
Okay, but this is what I'm saying. You're not okay. But see, you're so focused on the further generation. Detective Pikachu. Pikachu was the cornerstone of that generation 1. So if like let's say
generation 2.
Okay, let's say let's just say
you want to talk about generation 1. Where's Clefairy? Did you see that in the movie?
No, I didn't, and I'm you're agreeing with myself. You are agreeing with me.
Marcus, listen to me. Clefairy was originally supposed to be the mascot for Pokemon. Didn't even make it in the movie. Why? Because they didn't have time. There's too many Pokemon.
Okay, but so you're saying that
they picked and choose the Pokemon they thought people would like.
Okay, so who was I can't remember who was the Pokemon in the cages, the ninja ones? Greninja. So you're saying that Greninja deserved more fan service than a Pokemon like
Greninja is one of the most famous modern Pokemon there is. Greninja has a literal ass mega evolution.
Okay, so let's go with that. Okay, so I'm still on the side with you. So let's say I'm a parent. Let's say I haven't paid attention to the Pokemon franchise in 30 years. No. Let me finish.
Marcus, you're thinking about this from one perspective.
No, but you're not letting me finish.
Finish then.
Okay, let's say I'm a parent. Let's say I see Detective Pikachu. And I'm thinking, hey, I'm familiar with Pikachu. Okay, detective, something new. I'm sure they'll do fan service. I come to the theater. I see a few of the Pokemon that I know. I see a lot that I don't know. My kids ask me, hey, Pops, what's this Pokemon? What's that Pokemon? I cannot answer. And so it's just that's not building a fan base. That's they're trying to.
Marcus, Pokemon does not need to build a fan base.
They were trying to please too many fan bases.
Marcus,
do you agree with that?
They were feeding one fan base. The people who played Pokemon. That's it. They had Pokemon from every generation. You just want them to cut. No, Marcus. I want you to say this.
Go for it.
I want you to say that you just want them to cut out all the other generations, because that's what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying that.
No, you're saying you want them to cut out every other generation and just put Gen 1. Just make yourself Gen 1.
But this is okay. You know what? I will say they need to do Gen 1 because this is the first Pokemon live action movie. It would make sense for them to just do Gen 1. Am I wrong for that? Am I wrong for that thinking?
Yeah, because they made other movies.
No, other live action movies. Sorry.
Just because it's a first generation movie doesn't mean you gotta focus on the first generation.
It is, yes. That makes complete sense. Since you, as an education major, would you be teaching your students the civil rights movement without talking about slavery? You would just jump into the civil rights movement.
You mean after they just spent the past few years learning about it?
No,
because
Morgan, no, but no,
acting like there have been people playing Pokemon games.
Okay, but you're acting like
the majority.
Let's say students are blank, and you just jump into the civil rights movement.
But no, Marcus, they're not blank.
No,
people
but you're not
playing
listening.
these games for the past 20 years. Just because you left doesn't mean we weren't there.
No,
don't ask us to step back because you didn't want to walk with us.
No, but this is what I'm saying. I'm saying Generation 1 should be with the first Pokemon live action movie. Am I wrong for that?
Yes.
No, I'm not wrong for that.
Yes, you are.
How am I wrong for that? Okay. How many Pokemon games have there been in the 30 years?
Did it say Pokemon Kanto region?
No, it didn't say
Pokemon Red and Blue.
No, it said Detective
Yellow.
Pikachu.
No, it said Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
It didn't even say Pokemon. It said Detective Pikachu.
Pikachu's been every region.
Okay, let's move on from this. So, how did you feel about Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu?
He was good. He was a funny one. Like, have you listened to the actual voice? Have you listened to the actual voice actor of Detective Pikachu?
Yeah, that's right. He plays Deadpool.
No, but from the games.
Uh-uh.
He's like a deep voice Japanese dude. Like, it's super weird.
Okay, so I will say that Ryan Reynolds has done an amazing job throughout his career, but 90% of his movies are forgettable. I feel like this will go on the forgettable list. I feel like 2 weeks from now, you won't remember Detective Pikachu. I won't remember Detective Pikachu.
I mean, what comes out 2 weeks from now? That monster movie? That's
no,
not
I'm just saying in general, you're not going to be like, 2 weeks from now, you're not going to say, oh, remember that part in Detective Pikachu?
Well, the problem with that saying is like half the movies that come out now we don't remember 2 weeks from now.
Okay, Morgan, see, but you're talking about other movies. I'm talking about Detective Pikachu.
If I'm referencing
no, Morgan. I'm talking about no.
Marcus.
No. Let me talk. Let me talk.
The way I see this.
No.
The way I see it is we always reference, you got to measure things up from what you like and from what everything else is.
Right.
2 weeks from now, will I remember Detective Pikachu? I don't know. But 2 weeks from most movies I watch, I don't remember them.
Okay, that's more of a personal problem. I'm saying there's nothing memorable from Detective Pikachu that I will take on for until the next one. Like, let's say they make a Detective Pikachu sequel. I'm not going to be like...
That's not what people want.
I'm not going to say, oh, man, I remember this part from Detective Pikachu. Let me go see that again.
All right, let me tell you this. Let me ask you a question, Marcus. Name one scene from Iron Man 1.
Tony building the Iron Man suit and flying out of wherever the cave was.
It was in his lab in his house.
No, it wasn't. See, it wasn't. The first one, the 10 one, the Mark 1, when he was in the cave and his heart was failing.
Oh, please.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Because we both remember that.
From Iron Man 2.
We both remember that.
Some from Iron Man 2.
No. We're talking about, we are definitely talking about Pokemon.
No, I'm just saying.
No,
most
Morgan.
movies are forgettable.
No,
Marcus.
Morgan. No. You're not even listening to me.
You're just saying about this movie. I'm just saying most movies fucking suck. Okay.
No. Okay. So you're saying Detective Pikachu sucks?
No, I'm saying
No. You said most movies suck. So does Detective Pikachu? Are you 3 months from now? If I say, what was the memorable part from Detective Pikachu? Are you going to be able to answer me?
Yeah, I'll probably say something cute about Ryan Reynolds' Pikachu.
No, I said a part of the movie, not the character actors, not the actor, a part.
That was the fun part about it. It was Ryan Reynolds.
No, that's not a part. See, you just remember, okay, so what you're saying is that you're going...
I'd probably reference... There'd be do you remember the cappuccino scene? When he had
Which one?
The first one. I was explaining the scene, if you let me explain.
Okay, go for it.
You know, dude wakes up, main character wakes up, he walks in the room and then Pikachu has all his floors out, all beautiful mind style. There's hold up. Cappuccinos all over the place and they're explaining the plot and he keeps picking up the drink. He's drinking it and it's empty and then he puts it down and they're talking. Oh, that was funny.
Okay, so are you going to be able to remember that 3 months from now?
Just as much as I remember any scene from a movie.
Okay, so is Detective Pikachu a memorable film? Is it like as the first ever live action Pokemon movie? Will this be a memorable film for you? Will this be a film in 10 years or 20 years when you have like kids and you're like, yo, y'all got to see Detective Pikachu?
Well, it's more on its legacy as opposed to the movie itself.
Okay, so do you think the legacy is strong for Detective Pikachu?
I think the art style of its legacy could give it a legacy.
So you feel like the art is more important than the actual plot?
I mean, yeah, but I'm fine with that.
Okay, so how did you feel about the plot in general?
It was a good noir movie.
But Detective Pikachu isn't supposed to be noir.
Yes, it is.
No.
It's a detective movie.
But it didn't.
A detective noir movie.
It didn't say. It doesn't even say a detective noir movie in the description.
Do you know what noir means?
Yes.
Noir is literally a detective movie.
Okay, but did
That's
this?
the
Okay,
genre it's in, Marcus.
I
What's
feel okay.
wrong with you?
No, I feel like Detective Pikachu didn't know what type of movie it wanted to be.
It was
no. Let me
Pokemon
complain.
noir movie.
Let me complain. Let me explain before you yell. So
No, before I yell.
no.
Explain what noir is. Explain
No,
what noir
I'm
is.
telling you, Detective Pikachu did not know what type of movie it wanted to be. It wanted to be shut up.
You know what type of movie you looking at?
Look it wanted to be a nostalgia movie. No. It wanted to be a noir movie.
No.
It wanted to be an action movie. It wanted to be a love story.
No.
It did not know what type of movie it wanted to be.
Let me break this
I
down.
feel like Detective Pikachu. This is it. This is all I'm gonna say on this. Detective Pikachu was lazy.
No.
The writing was lazy.
No.
The fan service was lazy.
No.
And I feel like the plot was shallow.
No.
The main character, I'm not gonna remember tomorrow. And I feel like as a fan of Pokemon, I deserve better. And that's all I gotta say.
Let me say this. Number one, when you say the fan surface was shallow, I reference you the very first second. They reference Cubone's story that nobody would know unless you played the original Pokemon. Number two, you cannot look at that animation and art style and tell me they were lazy with that. You cannot tell me
I didn't say they were. I said they were lazy with the writing.
And number three, it is a noir story. That's it. It's a noir. It's a detective story.
Okay,
It's a detective story.
So out of 10, what would you give Detective Pikachu?
7.
I give it a 3.
Oh, please.
Thank you for listening. I am your co-host at One Marcus Flowers on all social media platforms, aka Flo, aka call me what you want, just don't call me lazy.
And I am Metro Meta with the worst review in the world.
And I just want to appreciate you guys for continue your support of 26 and Glencoe Media Network. It has been a tough May. We had a family emergency, so we've had to scale back our content, but we're back and we are better. Would you agree?
Yeah.
A couple events coming up. We have Denver Pop Culture Con, which is coming up at the end of the month, so make sure you are on the lookout for that. Also, we will be at EVO 2019 in Las Vegas, so be on the lookout for that. Morgan, do you have anything coming down the pipeline?
When's Far From Home come out? I got a video for that.
It comes out in July.
Got a video for that, and then I'll come up with something else.
Okay, also be on the lookout for Mortal Mondays. That will be dropping next Monday. I'm going to be talking about the overall story of Mortal Kombat 11, and if I liked it, or if I didn't like it, Super Flow Bros, of course. Dust off the cartridge, of course. Did you say your social?
Metro Meta 26 at everything.
And thank you. Until next time. Peace.